Mr. McLeod,
Contempt for what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question, or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the charges.
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court taken into custody.
Really? That's it.
This hearing is pure chaos from start to finish. Mr. McLeod is charged with assaulting a police officer, but instead of addressing the charge, he tries to argue that the court has no authority over him. He pulls the classic sovereign citizen card, constantly interrupting, yelling, and throwing around fake legal terms. But the judge shuts him down every single time. Things quickly get heated, and by the end of the hearing the judge has no other option but to have him placed in a jail cell for the night. The whole situation is both frustrating and hilarious to watch. This guy is so confident in his nonsense, only to get completely dismantled by the legal system. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, let's go ahead and dive right in.
Do you understand your right to a lawyer, including a court-appointed lawyer?
I understand that.
Okay. And do you wish to represent yourself instead of having an attorney?
Yeah, I'm here by special appearance, and I will be representing myself.
Okay. I'm required by law before I accept that waiver to do a couple things. One, advise you of the maximum penalties that you could face for the charges that you're in my court for. Resisting, obstructing conservation officers is a high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years in prison and or $1,000 fine. There's a habitual offender second notice that's been filed by the prosecutor, which would make that a felony punishable by up to 3 years and or $1,000 fine. And marine safety operating while intoxicated is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days and or $100 to $500 fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty for the charges against you?
Well, I don't even really understand why I'm here, honestly.
Pay attention to how calm the judge remains throughout this exchange. Despite all the interruptions and nonsense, he genuinely tries to give Mr. McLeod a chance to speak. It's honestly impressive how much patience the judge shows, especially while Mr. McLeod keeps pretending not to understand even the most basic legal concepts. Let me know what you think in the comments, though. Do you think this guy is actually confused, or is he just putting on an act to avoid taking responsibility?
Well, okay. Well, that's fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty that I just explained to you?
No.
Hold on. I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things.
Well, I need to establish a couple things too, honestly.
Hold on. Well, I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things, or I'm going to be in trouble.
Okay.
Do you understand that the maximum penalty that you could face for the charges that you're here for is up to 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me. So
what is it that you don't understand? Do you not understand how long 3 years is, or how much the fine is that I've articulated? Can you tell me what it is you don't understand?
The nature and cause of the action against me because there's no established jurisdiction.
That's not what I'm asking you right now. Well, I'll let you place whatever objections you want on the record, Mr. McLeod. I promise you that. Okay. Can we just go one step at a time? So do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as charged? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine?
Well, I have another question because the statutory jurisdiction doesn't exist under the Constitution. So in order for me to defend myself, could you please tell me where the published rules of conduct are for criminal statutory jurisdiction, or where I can find the nature and cause of this jurisdiction, or how this information exists?
No, I don't even understand what you're asking.
So you're saying this is a statutory jurisdiction under what? The statutes of Michigan, correct?
Mr. McLeod, I've told you what my jurisdiction is.
General jurisdiction.
The people of the state of Michigan voted to convene a constitutional convention in 1961.
Sure.
There was a constitutional convention in 1961 and 1962. They proposed a state constitution. The voters of the state of Michigan ratified that in 1963. Article 6 establishes the judicial power. And the circuit court is a court under that judicial power of Article 6 of the state constitution. And so you're here in my court. I have subject matter jurisdiction over those crimes. I have personal jurisdiction over you because you've been alleged to have committed them in our county. That's my jurisdiction. So, Mr. McLeod, you want to represent yourself? Do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face of 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
One second.
I can see why his attorney withdrew. Oh, shit.
Hang on, someone in the prosecutor's office is not muted. I'm going to remove you from the meeting at this time.
Oh,
Prosecutor's office is generally allowed to attend to observe. They've participated. I'm removing them from the hearing.
Way, let's jump back honestly. She's not wrong at all. That was such a raw, unfiltered moment that you can't help but laugh. I honestly don't know how the judge managed to keep a straight face there. But seriously, how does something like that even happen in a courtroom? Maybe she was just an older lady who blurted it out, or maybe she simply got caught up in how absurd the whole situation was. Either way, it perfectly summed up what everyone in the room was probably thinking about this guy. And if we're being honest, it's not surprising that his attorney decided to withdraw from the case. Mr. McLeod is sitting there flipping through a small stack of papers, searching for some made-up legal loophole that he thinks will magically get him off the hook. He honestly looks like he believes he's about to pull off the legal equivalent of a rabbit out of a hat. Meanwhile, the judge, the prosecutor, and probably everyone else in the courtroom already knows exactly how this is going to end. But Mr. McLeod keeps going, acting like he's cracked the code of the legal system, when in reality it just looks like he's digging himself into an even deeper hole. You really have to wonder what sovereign citizens think is actually going to happen. Do they really believe the judge is suddenly going to stand up and say, "You know what? You're right. Case dismissed"? Watching this is almost like watching someone try to win a game when they clearly don't understand the rules. And by the end of it, the prosecutor's little comment feels like the cherry on top, because honestly, if you were in her position, you'd probably be thinking the exact same thing. What's even crazier is how committed these sovereign citizens are to their beliefs. Just like Mr. McLeod, sitting there shuffling through papers and quoting fake laws, it's strangely entertaining to watch. The guy seems completely delusional. Any into the hearing?
Mr. McLeod, do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face?
One second. Okay, so when enforcement of mere statutes, judges of all courts do not act judicially and are thus are not protected and qualified by limited immunity. That's Owen versus the city. I just want to state a few things for the record since you're claiming this is a jurisdiction under statutory law.
Hang on. Mr. McLeod, can we back it? Look at me for a second. Can we talk here?
I've challenged subject matter jurisdiction and nothing can go forward until that's addressed. You're saying
I did address it and I denied your objection. I have subject matter
doesn't
jurisdiction.
exist under the Constitution.
Your objection is noted. All right. So, Mr. McLeod, do you understand? Let me explain to you.
Sure.
Sometimes, as I said, people might want to represent themselves, but let's say they have limited intellectual capacity and they don't understand what's going on.
You can really tell the judge is completely done with this guy's nonsense at this point. It's not even savage, it's just the truth. You've got Mr. McLeod fumbling through his papers, quoting made-up laws, while the judge calmly shuts everything down in the most professional way possible. You have to respect it, though. The judge is calling it exactly how it is without even breaking a sweat. Moments like this are a good reminder of why judges are the ultimate authority in the courtroom.
I have to establish that they know what's going on before I can allow them to represent themselves. I'm required to establish, do you comprehend, do you know the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as a result of this charge? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine. Do you understand that, Mr. McLeod?
So I'd like to state for the record that
Mr. McLeod,
the
stop.
court can be.
Stop, Mr. McLeod. If you don't understand it, I'm going to revoke your right to represent yourself and have an attorney represent you because I can't establish that you know what you're doing. So do you know the maximum penalty that you would face?
I've challenged this court's jurisdiction. You haven't established it yet. You said you have a statutory jurisdiction, which doesn't exist under the Constitution. I'm trying to figure out where I stand with this. So I can't answer any of your questions until you answer some of mine.
That's not how it works. Are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm
Then answer it. Do you understand the maximum penalty that you face for this charge?
So judges who become involved in enforcement of
Mr.
these
McLeod,
statutes.
I have
act
other
as
matters,
clerk
Mr.
of some
McLeod.
involved agency. What's that?
You know, I understand you want to object to things and you're going to be allowed to object to things, okay?
Sure.
But we have to do things one step at a time. And I do have other cases today. I'm not going to entertain this for like a whole hour. I've got other cases going on. If you want to dig in your heels and just make this real complicated or real difficult, we could do that. And I can hold you in contempt and you'll go back to a jail cell for a while.
Your
and then
Honor,
we'll deal with
I
it.
don't wish to be held in contempt. I just wish to exercise my Sixth Amendment right.
That's fine.
And
So before I can let you under,
I can
before I
cite
can,
laws, I can cite laws that will show you that the exercise of a right can be converted into a crime. I'm trying to understand the nature and cause of the action against me. You're not clarifying it enough to where I can comprehend it, as you say.
you comprehend the maximum penalty that you would face.
I'm not answering any of those questions until you establish that this is a court of the Constitution, has jurisdiction under these jurisdictions.
I established it. I told you. You might think I'm wrong and you can appeal
There's
it.
no
to the
such
Michigan
thing as
Court
a
of Appeals.
statutory jurisdiction.
Mr. McLeod, let me make this simple for you. Do you ever watch, let me make this simple for you.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you this question one more time. One more time.
Okay.
Two things are going to happen. You are either going to answer my question or I'm going to hold you summarily in contempt. And the court officer will bring you to a jail cell and we'll talk about it tomorrow. You understand that?
So.
Mr.
in
McLeod,
contempt for what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the charges.
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court, taken into custody.
Really? That's it. Protecting my rights is what you said last time. This isn't true. You guys are following
Follow
unlawful
unconstitutional
orders. You're following
orders.
unlawful orders. It's not
Not a
constitutional
good
at all.
thing.
Mr. McLeod's in contempt, he's sentenced to 1 day. Mr. McLeod, your sentence is 1 day in jail. We'll reconvene tomorrow and get you
This is about
notice.
the Constitution. I did nothing wrong except to question and exercise my rights.
This guy is honestly a joke. Watching him try to play lawyer when he clearly has no idea what he's doing is just embarrassing. I don't understand why he didn't simply get an attorney. It's not just common sense, it's his right. Under the Sixth Amendment, he has the right to legal counsel, and if he can't afford one, the court will appoint a public defender for free. But instead of doing that, he's sitting here flipping through a stack of papers and throwing out all this nonsense that holds absolutely no weight in a real courtroom. You can even see the judge trying to give him a fair chance at the beginning. He's patient, calm, and clearly explaining things step by step. But even the most patient judge can only tolerate so much before they have to shut it down. The craziest part is how confident this guy looks while making a complete fool of himself. He's sitting there acting like he's about to crack some secret legal code, when in reality the law here is pretty straightforward. The judge is asking simple questions that require simple answers, yes or no. It's really not that complicated. And remember, he's not in court over something minor. He's facing a charge for assaulting a police officer, which is a very serious offense and is often classified as a felony. Considering he's potentially looking at around 3 years, this is not something to play games with. Instead of addressing the charge, negotiating a plea deal, or presenting an actual defense, he's just wasting everyone's time, including his own. All it's doing is making his situation worse. The judge even points out that none of the arguments he's making are relevant. But it's almost like Mr. McLeod is living in his own world, convinced that he's making progress. As entertaining as this is to watch, there's also a sad side to it. A lot of sovereign citizens genuinely believe they're exempt from the law because of these made-up legal theories. But courts have been rejecting these arguments for decades. Cases dating all the way back to the 1990s have consistently thrown out the same claims. Judges are legally obligated to follow actual law, not someone's personal interpretation of it. And at the end of the day, this approach only hurts him. A felony conviction for assault can have serious long-term consequences, including prison time and the loss of certain rights like voting or owning a firearm. So that's going to wrap up my breakdown for this clip. Let me know what you guys think about Mr. McLeod in the comments below. Do you think he actually believes what he's saying, or do you think he's just putting on an act? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.